All right, we're back for a third time, should I say, and I'm going to continue. So I heard the same problem with the voice thing. I'm sorry. The camera apparently picks it up. I don't think I've heard it on the podcast, so let's see here. Where was I? Oh, well, if the police are permitted to assault and detain peaceful citizens illegally bearing arms in public, and civilians are forbidden to wear enhanced clothing intended to protect themselves against bullets and high voltage energy weapons, we can still cower in our heavily fortified domiciles, can't we? A man's home is his castle, and all that. Maybe not. Last November, a measure went into effect in Oklahoma that makes it a felony punishable by a 5-year prison term and a $10,000 fine to fortify a home for the purpose of preventing or delaying entry or access by a law enforcement officer. Under the measure, written by Republican, he says Natch, Republican State Representative Sue Tibbs, it is impermissible to construct, install, position, use, or hold any material or device designed to strengthen, defend, restrict, or obstruct any door, window, or other opening into a dwelling, structure, building, or other place to any extent beyond the security provided by a commercial alarm system, lock or deadbolt, or a combination of alarm, lock, and deadbolt. Basically ensuring that what is already allowed continues while everything else can be tossed to the wayside. That's preferential treatment to that which already exists. Predictably, this measure is one of many disfiguring Predictably, this measure is one of the many disfigured offspring of the war on drugs, a singular fecund progenitor of legislative absurdities. The measure specifies that its provisions apply to buildings in which drug offenses are being committed or attempted. However, given the depraved ingenuity of prosecutors, it's safe to assume that in some way will be found to apply it in cases without a clear drug nexus. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to see similar measures, most likely cultivated by police lobbyists, cropping up elsewhere. Given ongoing efforts to criminalize civilian efforts to protect themselves in non-violent fashion against official violence, Patrick Lynch's lift one finger standard could be considered a moderate view. And that's from January 6, 2010. So it's not too many days ago. That is the entire article. And before I leave you today, at least this time, I'm going to link not only the entire thing to all three parts of this video, but also some other stuff I've noticed here, including some case files that show that the police are underneath no obligation to protect you. Now that I've actually admitted I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to do it now that I think about, gee, what was I thinking? But, besides the point, they've been found in many cases that they don't have, by many court cases, they don't have to come protect you. And if I can name just a few that I have here, I believe in, which one is going to show me the best here? Oh, here it is. From police protection, provide police protection. You have no rights to police protection. Down here among its examples, Bowers versus DeVito, 7th Circuit's Court, 1982, no federal constitutional requirement that police provide protection. Kelligridge versus Mobile, Alabama, 1985. Is it California government? Why isn't? Anyways, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Oh, it's CalGrid's Government Code 845. No liability for failure to provide police protection. CalGrid's Verse Mobile 846. No liability for failure to arrest or to retain arrested person in custody. Davidson vs. Westminster 32. California now? Anyways, 1982. No liability for failure to provide police protection. Stone vs. State. 1980, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Morgan vs. District of Columbia. It's DC Appellate 1983, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Warren vs. District of Columbia 444A2D 1, DC Appellate 1981, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Sapp vs. Tallahassee, Florida 1977. It's Ford TAC 102. I don't know how to pronounce these things. But it's the Florida Appellate First District Court. No liability for failure to provide police protection. Keene vs. Chicago 98 3I. Appellate 2nd D. First District 1968. No liability for failure to provide police protection. Jameson vs. Chicago, 1st District, 1977. No liability for failure to provide police protection. Simpson's Food Fair vs. Evansville, Indiana Appellate. No liability for failure to provide police protection. Silver vs. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1969. No liability for failure to provide police protection. I'm not pronouncing this guy's name, but 1978, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Chapman vs. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1981, no liability for failure to provide police protection. Morse vs. Musser, 1984, no liability for failure to provide police protection. You have no recourse if the police fail to respond or fail to protect you from injury. And that's the entire thing. It's news information at policecrimes.com. Actually, it is policecrimes.com. Only it's www.policecrime.com. In this case, it's /policeprotection.html. Once again, I'll link this to the side. And my point of view in this case is that not only that you should be able, that you only should not have any kind. That they should not, that no government, nobody could tell you that you should not be able to defend yourself with a firearm or with some kind of vest or something that protect you from a firearm or a taser or use of a taser, or you can use a taser or whatever in your own defense. And this is really more or less they mentioned exactly everything along the line. Why Grigg mentioned everything, the problem behind the kind of stuff. Police protection, the police crimes /police protection article. I just read the entire list of saying they don't have anything to basically they're not they can't be forced to come to your protection. Should I say? I'm trying to find the words now that I'm not reading. Is this one? Even if you believe that you need some kind of security force, a police force, whatever, to help augment you, to help come to your defense or whatever, just defense given society, the individual may find himself in positions where the police can't come to help him. The police can't be everywhere, so even the good ones can't come to your defense. And of course, as I just mentioned with policecrime.com /policeprotection.html, they're underneath no obligation to come to your protection. Think about that. Along with this, I'm going to have linked a PDF file of some guy's 12-page dissertation about the subject. Thank you for listening this long, if you just have decided to do so, and have a nice day.